Hey guys, welcome back to another pick a card reading. This week's video is on your shadow self. So we are going to be taking a look at what kinds of traits, qualities are encompassed in your shadow self, as well as what it's trying to tell you. So whether it's imbalanced, it needs more support, or if it's being suppressed, we are going to address that and see what kind of advice or messages want to come through for you. As always, we have 4 piles that you can choose from. Pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Feel free to pause this video for a moment if you need some time to meditate on which of these groups you feel the most drawn to. And then once you've decided, you can fast forward to the timestamp in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and without further ado, we will start with pile 1. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading for all of you who chose the Mangano Calcite group. Let's see what your shadow self is. First we'll see what your shadow self is, and then we'll take a look at what it's trying to tell you. Alright, so we have School of Flowers and Eternal Love. This says creating through the ashes, and love is lore is, or no wait, love is love, and it transcends physical death. Wow, that's deep. Okay. So I just want to start off by saying that your shadow self is very creative and connected to the heart. I noticed that both of these cards have flowers, and flowers are a symbol of rebirth, life. I keep thinking like eternal life or love, creation, and feminine energy too. So this side of you that you tend to suppress, or your shadow self, is definitely softer, a lot more connected to your deep emotions, and it is a very expressive energy too. With these cards, we have these colors. There's a need for you guys to connect on a deep level, a deep soul level with someone as well. You guys could be secretly diehard romantics, or always feel like you're looking for that one all be all connection with someone. And there's a connection with that, this eternal love, and the School of Flowers, creativity, and your ability to create and transform. So that makes sense, because I think that kind of energy that you feel when you are connected with someone emotionally, that feeds your inspiration and your passion for creating, and because you're in that place of being connected to your feelings and to your more artistic side, that is your shadow side. It is artistic. It wants to express itself more. And I think for you guys, you have more of a difficulty finding avenues, especially creative or artistic avenues, that you can express this through, okay? And that might have to do with your lifestyle. Maybe it just doesn't allow for as much wiggle room or for time that you can spend to devote to this, because this takes a lot of energy, and that's apparent. I think one way to definitely deal with this is surrounding yourself, either intentionally or unintentionally, with artistic people, with your loved ones, people who you do feel that deep sense of connection with. Let's get into your other cards and see what your shadow's trying to tell you. So we have make a change, welcome change into your life, and trust your gut feeling. Let your heart lead you to who you are. Yeah, okay, so as I said, your shadow self is very connected to your heart. And so maybe this is you guys learning to sort of suppress how your heart feels or what makes you connected to that, and sort of make sense of things through your brain, your mind, or even through how you were taught, which could be different. So your shadow wants you to make a change. And this change has to deal with trust, inner trust. Maybe learning how to trust others too. That could be a part of this, because this is so deeply entrenched with connection and feeling that bond with your loved ones or with people who connect you to your heart and therefore your feelings, okay? I want to clarify this with tarot. So let's see, what is pile one's shadow self trying to tell them? What does pile one need to see or focus on? Okay, Eight of Pentacles. Maybe you guys have just been so concerned with work. Also, this could be part of the change, is like integrating your shadow into your work or your routine. The Eight of Pentacles is sort of the card that deals with the grind of everyday life, the grind of work, actually, your craft, self-mastery. It's a very practical energy, and maybe that's the disconnect, because there's a side of you that is very practical, logical, and makes sense of things through reason, and then the shadow that you suppress on a certain level is so wrapped up in your feelings, and you know, it can be overwhelming. It can be heavy for you at times, and you might feel like you have to just shut that off, or even distance yourself from your loved ones, from your family, because it can just be a bit too much. Yeah, we have the Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit, like closing yourself off from certain types of people. I feel like that's so. Okay, one of the main messages, other than getting back in touch with your gut or learning self-trust, is surrounding yourself or putting yourself out there for certain people, like who are connected to their feelings and who can kind of help you open up, okay? Because the Hermit, this is very closed off. I think many of you guys probably have some strong earth in your chart, because I just feel, and same thing with these cards, there's the flowers, that connection to nature and natural things. And the Eight of Pentacles, this is like pentacles are earth as well. Some of you guys probably have that energy, or that is just what you're used to dealing with. That could be how you deal with this, which, you know, it can be a bit closed off. Okay, Nine of Pentacles, more pentacles. Okay, so yeah, this is the butterfly, transformation. I love this deck because the crows are so like insightful. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, let's get one more that isn't a pentacle card, maybe. Okay, what is pile one's shadow self trying to tell them? Man, okay. This one. Okay, we have the Six of Wands. I feel like you guys are so focused on your future, especially like your life plan, your career track, and you aren't as much in the present moment. That is something that you guys definitely struggle with, is letting go. Letting go of the moment and kind of losing yourself in it. We also have a butterfly here too. So butterflies for you are definitely a symbol of your creativity. Whenever you see a butterfly, that is a sign that you are more connected to your heart and also nature too. I feel like that's where you get a lot of your gifts from. The thing is, the shadow, it's what we tend to suppress, but it's also an area where we hold a lot of power, but we tend to feel some kind of shame surrounding it. So I really do feel like for you guys, this is your creativity that is wrapped up in your shadow. And maybe you were just taught that that wasn't something that was important, or you were never taught really how to express it or encouraged to do so. You guys are really good at shutting it off and shutting on other sides of you guys. It's mechanical, like this Eight of Pentacles. I also think another way that you can help integrate this shadow is by spending your time around a lot more females or girls, because that also can be transforming. And this is a side note. I recently took an art class that was all women, literally, and there wasn't that many, like maybe 15 people in the class. And after the class, and I think also what felt so refreshing and good about it was because with being surrounded with other women, it felt very liberating and safe. Like I could cry, or like I could really share my feelings, and that was encouraged. Actually, it was encouraged to say, how does this art make you feel? What kinds of feelings or like impressions, what does it bring out of you? How do you feel about this? And so that's just a quick side note story that I wanted to sort of use to explain what I'm getting at here, which is that, and regardless of your gender, right, even if you're a male, I still feel like surrounding yourself with feminine energy in some form or another, even if that's like other male artists, or even spending more time out in nature, right? That is the key to you guys balancing out this shadow side and learning how to integrate it into your everyday life, especially through, routines. But also, I really feel like you guys need to find friends who encourage this, okay? Who can make you feel safe to express your creativity, who don't judge, who really nurture and encourage this, because that is sort of where you struggle, is with feeling safe enough to express your emotions or even trust them too. You need to be able to trust that other people, or people who really matter to you, like friends, family, like you can be this person, or you can integrate this side of yourself and live it in front of them, okay? And that's the thing with the shadow as well, is when we suppress it to the point where we're not living it, we are missing out on a side of ourselves that can be very useful and constructive, okay? So yeah. Let's pull you guys some more cards. What kind of advice can we get for pile? Is this all in reverse? Actually, I don't know. Okay. What kind of advice can you get for pile 1? Perfect. Dowsing rod, seeker. This is interesting. I just got the message you guys should explore more, especially like trails, new paths, maybe go different routes if you can. We also have feathers, message. Feathers, to me, this card always signals angelic communication, so possibly guardian angels, spirit guides trying to communicate with you. So again, butterflies are a big message. Also, flowers too. That is really tied to your creativity, how you create. Because you guys, again, regardless of your gender, you have an appreciation of beauty. And that is something that you need to be able to express outwardly in your aesthetic or in the things that you create. You need to be able to integrate beauty, or just try to do it more often in your life, whether it's in simple things, in your decor, around your house, in what you wear, or when you look in the mirror, products that you put on yourself, anything. Just be more conscious and mindful of that in your everyday life as well. Okay, let's see if we can get a few more cards. Okay, we have the Lakota tribe, Sacred Serpent, and self-focus. Yeah, the Lakota tribe. You guys need to find your tribe, alright? And as I said, I think by doing that, you're just gonna feel safe. That is what's really gonna help transform you. And that's the thing. I think people underestimate the power that social interaction or, you know, certain types of connections with people can have on us. Because when we feel safe to talk about certain things or to express a certain side of ourselves, to share that with someone, it can be life-changing. It can really transform other areas of your life too and how you approach them. So yes, the tribe, Sacred Serpent. This is again dealing with transformation, shedding of one's skin. Also the serpent. This is connected to the Kundalini, sacred creativity and femininity, because fundamentally the snake or the serpent is feminine, and it is about birth, like rebirth. It's healing. There's a reason why the snake is the symbol of the medicine icon, right? Because they have medicinal properties. And then we also have self-focus. So that is really key here. Focus on the heart. This middle mandala is green, and that's the heart chakra color. Also pink is as well. So this is about focusing on those that chakra in particular. Connecting with your heart, that's really something that you guys need more of. That will really help you and give you guidance and more balance in integrating this shadow. Okay, let's roll the Astro dice. Okay, so we have Capricorn, Neptune, and 7th house. Okay, yeah, 7th house is the house of relationships, connections. Again, you guys with this eternal love card have that yearning, that soul yearning to connect with people, or, you know, a few people on a very deep level, okay? That feeds your soul. That is something that you need more of, all right? Also, the 7th house, just making more relationships or more connections in general, because this Hermit card, at least to me, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You guys can be closed off, possibly from your emotions, from your heart, but I think also from other people at times, or, you know, there's this tendency for you guys to sort of close off your emotions or not get too close to people. And then we have Capricorn. So Capricorn, yeah, that's earth energy. Very hardworking, logical, practical. That's the thing. I feel like you guys need to get out of your head or stop being practical at times, or at least when it comes to your relationships, okay? Or practical matters. I think that's what consumes you the most, is thinking about the everyday or the future, not being in the moment, okay? This Neptune energy that we have as well, very dreamy, artistic, again, that is your shadow. That's the side of yourself that struggles to express itself, or that you feel shamed for, or that, I don't know, it's just not getting the proper care or attention that it needs. Neptune is the planet of healing, okay? So if you're wondering, especially if you have, I mean, I'm not a doctor, right? But if you have certain physical ailments, sometimes that is the result of blockages, especially spiritually or mentally, that then manifest in the body. And not for all of you, but for some of you guys, I think paying attention to your physical health, it is a reflection of like spiritually what you need to work on too. Okay, so Neptune dealing with healing, I think focusing on your heart, trusting your emotions, and finding people who make you feel safe to connect to this side, your shadow side, is a huge part of this healing process for you. Okay? So I will leave this reading here. I hope it was helpful. If you guys liked it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's hop right into it and see what your shadow self is. Okay, first we'll see what your shadow is, and then we'll talk about what it's trying to tell you. Okay, so we have Skull of Darkness, Blind Spots, and then we also have Night Song, Hidden Talents. Okay. Let's just see what else there is going on in your shadow. Okay, so we have Moon, Cancer, 9th house. Okay, yeah, so the Moon, similar to this, represents things that are hidden, right? It's also interesting with the Blind Spots card because you might not even be aware of your shadow, Pile 2. It could be part of the subconscious, which is likely because we have the Moon, and the Moon, it's kind of like how most of our brain isn't even operating consciously. It's just things that happen beneath the surface. And then we also have Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the Moon. So this also is connected to the cycles, like the cycles of the Moon, working with the Moon. Cancer is also very intuitive, motherly. I keep hearing secrets though, like either this is something that is a secret to you, or yeah, it could also be a secret to other people too. And then we also have 9th house. The 9th house is about higher education, philosophy, higher truths, learning. I am picking up on spirituality. Maybe some of you guys hide your spirituality. That could be what's happening here. Or just hidden talents, certain like talents or skills that you have that are connected to this 9th house energy. So things like, again, spirituality, anything that has to deal, that deals with learning. You guys could have secret hobbies as well. Yeah, so I just keep seeing that this is something that you keep secret, or this could be, again, something that you're not aware of that you're doing. So it's happening unconsciously. It could also be apparent to other people, your shadow, but you yourself might not be aware of it. Let's pull you guys some tarot because I really want to get more info on this. This seems mysterious and also somewhat vague so far. Okay, what is pile 2's shadow side? Okay, King of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. We also have the moon here too. So the moon is intuitive, all right? It's very secretive. It represents who we are behind closed doors. It's very private. So that's sort of your nature when it comes to this. This is something that you keep hidden from other people, whether intentionally or not. The 9th house, this could also be certain beliefs that you have or things that you hold as higher truths, values, principles too. Things like that. And then the Wheel of Fortune is also kind of cyclical, like the moon in Cancer, deals with time. I think for a lot of you guys, your shadow self, but also I think for most people too, tends to be their intuitive side, which is feminine ultimately, and, you know, more connected to their emotions, right? Which makes sense seeing that we have Cancer and the moon. So, but like for you guys, I think because we have the night song, your shadow side could have to do with, okay, certain talents. One, certain talents that you have that you are afraid to express. Or number 2, this could be ideas or you guys feeling afraid of expressing or talking about how you feel or even talking in general, right? I think you guys, okay, this pile seems a bit all over the place. Let's just pull some more cards actually and just see like what else wants to come out. Because I don't want to make a final judgment. I like to see the cards just, you know, tell me what is happening rather than just kind of guess. Okay, so we have the Emperor and the 7 of Wands. Okay. This just got juicy. Okay, for some of you guys, this could be your relationship towards masculinity. The Emperor is like the masculine card in the deck. And we all have that energy of the inner god, the inner warrior, the Emperor. Also the 7 of Wands too, to a certain extent, sort of deal with power, domination. They can be controlling in their shadow side, but yeah, they deal with power and having a healthy relationship towards that, you know, not going to to one extreme side or the other. So I feel like that actually is at the root of this pile, is your relationship towards power and masculinity. So some of you guys, this is more on the extreme side where you, and like the King of Cups, this is a healthy representation of masculine energy because the cups, it's balanced because the kings, right, are the masculine figureheads of the different suits. They're authoritative, they're kings, right? But the cup suit happens to be emotional and more connected to that softer feminine quality, even though this card is, because it's a king, right, it's masculine technically. So for some of you guys, like the King of Cups is what you want to strive for. This is the perfect balance of these different energies. And I think for you guys, you either tend to be on one extreme or the other. So it's either this masculinity makes you feel insecure, like you need to overcompensate with it, or on the other extreme, some of you guys might be too unassertive or totally reject that energy altogether, okay? Yeah, that's what I see so far. Some of you guys, your moon sign might be overcompensating. Okay, look at your moon sign. If it's in a water sign, then that could be what you're overcompensating with, is the more like feminine side and sort of avoiding that more masculine energy. But if you have your moon in like a fire sign or an air sign, that could be what you are overcompensating with as well, which is more forward and like expressive, in that it's more comfortable expressing that more controlling, assertive side. Okay, so that is something that I feel you guys should look into, is what your moon is, what your moon is telling you, because there's a huge emphasis on that, like the moon here, Cancer and the moon, of course. And so for you guys, it's like your shadow is this relationship towards masculinity and power, and, you know, feeling as though you can only deal with people or with life by really embodying one extreme or the other. Okay, there's a sort of imbalance there. So let's see what kind of changes, what what is your shadow trying to tell you, essentially. Okay, so we have concealed power, give birth to the wonder of revelation, as well as finding the path. You are the driver and the navigator. Okay. So again, concealed power. Your shadow side really, yeah, this is about power for you guys. And maybe this is something, because usually our shadow, it's something that we were conditioned to sort of suppress from an early age. Things that we were taught, or that just subconsciously we went on autopilot and just that stuck with us. Okay, and that's the thing, you guys might not really be aware that you're doing this, but other people might see it, you know, might see like, oh, this girl or guy has trouble being assertive, or on the opposite end, oh, this person has trouble being soft, or, you know, being like they're too guarded, right? Because there's, you know, when masculine energy is on that extreme end, it can border on being guarded, not letting people in emotionally, or not feeling safe enough to express your emotions, or doing things that are deemed traditionally feminine, like being caring or like nurturing, right? And that's the thing, Cancer, this is the sign of the mother. We also have this finding the path card. It says you are the driver and the navigator. So ultimately this is something that's driving you, pile 2, is your shadow, and you don't even know it. Like, that's the thing, this is taking up, that's the blind spot, okay? Remember, like, if you chose this pile, just know that your shadow is much more powerful than you give it credit for in your life. Your shadow might actually be what's controlling you in this concealed power. But like, your shadow really is the one side of yourself that, a lot like this Emperor energy, that is sort of directing where you're going and navigating towards. So let's keep going. Let's pull some cards. What is happening? We have affirmation. Okay, these two. Pendulum, decision, and Wheel of Fortune, fate. So we have the Wheel of Fortune twice. The Wheel of Fortune is one of those cards that I see similar to the Tower, actually, in how, like, it shows up in our lives unexpectedly. So for a lot of you guys, this is being exacerbated, or this is coming up perhaps like right now or during a certain time in your life where you guys are going to have to make a decision or have to really and this is actually really, look at that, like, because people usually use wishbones to help make decisions, to decide which direction to go, finding the path. So yeah, funnily enough, all of these cards, that's what they have in common. These three cards deal with things that are out of our hands or out of our control. So that's sort of the thing. I think the best way you can kind of deal with this shadow, or the way, again, that you can start to integrate it better or balance this out, is by reclaiming the power of whatever other, like, side that you have. So, you know, if you are overly masculine or like controlling, then try to find ways of confronting this. I think there's a fear that you guys have actually of confronting your shadow, because going back to this skull of darkness, blind spots, I feel like you guys are afraid of the dark, or afraid of seeing your shadow for what it is, right? And ultimately, that's why that only makes it more powerful, or have more power over you. This is about taking back your own power. Let's see. Okay, let's just roll the Astro Dice one more time. What can pile 2 do to integrate their shadow? Okay, so we have Venus, Taurus, and 7th house. Actually, all of these have Venus in common. Taurus is ruled by Venus. 7th house is traditionally ruled by Venus. Venus is the energy of peace. I don't know, maybe for most of you, you're bordering on the more masculine extreme. And this feminine energy is actually like what is wanting to come through. Because earlier we got the moon in Cancer, and now we have Venus in Taurus, which both have their rulerships coming out. And the moon and Venus are like the most feminine planets. The 7th house is about the other. Sometimes the 7th house actually also can deal with the shadow self, or it's the side of us that we see in others that we don't see in ourselves. So again, there can be that blind spot with the 7th house, and integrating that into our personality. And sometimes we overcompensate with the 7th house, that energy as well, and we don't know it. Like if we have an energy in there that we don't see in ourselves, right? I mean, other people see it in us, but we somehow separate it from how we identify, right? The 1st house, which is opposite of it. So for you guys, this seems more like how you identify with yourself, okay? What traits, like how do you identify? If you had to describe yourself, not how your friends would describe you, but if you had to describe yourself, what kinds of traits, whether masculine or feminine, would first come to mind? And then ask yourself, okay, what can I do about that? Am I okay with that? You know? So yeah, let's pull you guys a few more cards. This pile is juicy, okay? This is more, but also I think this is something as well that's going to take longer to sort of address, because this is something that's so deeply rooted in how you see yourself, right? Or what you don't see in yourself. This blind spots card, which can be difficult because we have to unlearn first certain patterns or habits that we are accustomed to with regards to seeing. You know, how do we learn to see ourselves? And usually that also has a lot to do with whatever parent was the most dominant. So if you have a very dominant father or dominant mother, usually the way that they would view themselves or the way that they would view you rubs off on your psyche, and like, oh, they see me this way, they treat me like that, so that is me, you know, or that's what I'm striving to be, so that is what I'm trying to emulate. So again, this is a very deep psychological pile, and it's gonna take more time to integrate the shadow. So yeah, I would just say it's gonna take a lot of spiritual work and also self-awareness as well. Okay, what is this? We have dream child and conscious channeling. Yeah, conscious channeling is very helpful for you guys. Just being conscious of what is actually going on in your brain psychologically. Like, why is it that I think this way, or that I tend to overcompensate with this energy, okay? And then the dream shield card. What's funny here is this is the eagle symbol. Eagles, again, vision, right? That's such a huge theme in your reading, is bringing things to light and actually learning how to see, because you have to learn how to see this first and see how this is playing out for you in yourself before you can then work on it and confront this, okay? So that's why this is the way it is. But dream work is a really good idea for you guys, because dreams allow us that canvas of sorting out our problems psychologically, so things that we aren't aware of play out in our dreams. And what I mean by that is it's not like things that we're unconsciously aware of, that we're not consciously aware of. Honestly, oh my gosh, I'm tripping up my words for this pile. Yeah, it's like learning how to think about this and see it, right? And dreams are like the number one way to sort this out, okay? And to make sense of this shadow. Because I think it plays out for you guys in your dreams oftentimes. The certain situations that you find yourself in confront these problems, okay? So that, again, is like the most effective way in making this paying more attention to your dreams. Patterns that you find in your dreams reveal your fears or reveal your states of mind, and ultimately make you more conscious. So yeah, those are the main things I am seeing. So I will leave this pile here for now. I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. For all of you who chose this Mookaite crystal, welcome to your reading. Let's see what is your shadow self, first off, and second, what kind of change or advice is coming through for how you can better integrate it, or just in general what your shadow is trying to tell you. So we will start off with these. Okay, so we have scrying, intuition, as well as skeleton, strength. Ooh, I just heard I can feel it in my bones. Okay, for some of you guys, I can feel you getting massive headaches or migraines at times. It might seem like the universe is always sending you guys downloads nonstop, because sometimes when we get headaches, it's not even us. Like, we could be drinking a lot of water and doing fine, but for some reason it's coming from the outside. It's coming from someone else, right? So yeah, you guys, you channel a lot from other people, emotions or energies that you receive that other people rub off on you. And I think this could deal with getting a better hold over that, okay? Because I think you guys, pile 3, are empathic, or you tend to soak up energies like a sponge. And I think because we have skeleton strength, skeletons, or rather like bones, they are the only thing that's keeping us from being a sack of flesh and fluids. They provide that structure and that boundary so we don't, so we can exist, okay? And also this crystal ball that you can see in the scrying card makes me think that there's that clarity. You guys can see through things soak up in your auric field, but there's this lack of boundaries that you guys have, or there's a sense that your intuition is so well integrated and you might not actually know how to handle it at times or get control over this. And so I think that is something that this shadow is wanting to tell you, is to get a better grip over boundaries and control, learning when and how to control this channeling that you guys can do. Okay, so let's see how, or rather, what is this trying to tell you? What's your shadow trying to tell you? Okay, we have face your fears, farewell to fear phantoms. I just heard that this is very straightforward, or there's only one way to do this. Yeah, there's only one way to do this. Okay, that's interesting. The thing is, I think you guys are very clear on other people and when it comes to their energies, but yourself, when it comes to that, it doesn't seem as clear, or it seems wishy-washy, right? You need to approach this as if you are someone else on the street who you, I don't want to like hurt you guys' feelings, but this is something that you need to be more harsh with, okay? And when I say that, I mean it in the sense of like getting a grip on your boundaries, because I think that's really what keeps coming through to me, is that you guys have trouble knowing when to draw the line. And it might feel like it's not always by choice. Like sometimes you don't have a choice and people will just come up to you or throw out a problem out of nowhere and you have to deal with it. And so I feel that. I feel like you guys oftentimes have more pressure put onto you from others, from the universe, in order to reinforce this strength, to really help you guys become stronger people, okay? And also so you can get better control over your own emotions or your own energies and learn how to better guard yourself off from constantly or not being able to control the way that you channel or soak up other energies that aren't your own. So yeah, this is about learning how to control your own energies, essentially pile 3. Control the way that you deal with others, yes, but also how you deal with yourself, okay? Because that is where this disconnect lies, is between what you're willing to give to other people, but also how you deal with yourself in the sense of being clear about what is happening, okay? Yeah. Let's actually pull you guys some tarot and clarify this. This card, Simple Pleasures, look for beauty that's all around you. That card is always about seeing the lightness and the beauty in life. Okay. What do we have? The 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense. The 5 of Pentacles often is about other people taking from us, or when we feel too dependent on other people for help. Either way, this crow, or the way that the person is traditionally depicted, is as like a vagrant, or as someone who is sort of left without anything. So what is it that you guys are dependent on? First, ask yourself that. Is it helping other people? Like, do you feel dependent on other people in a certain way to make you feel a certain emotion? Is it yeah, like, is it helping people? Is it feeling a sense of like fulfillment, or what's the word, like duty, even responsibility? Like, what is that you guys need to feel in order to feel whole? Like, what are you dependent on for that? We also have the 7 of Swords. Again, this shows other people taking from you. I think really, like, this is a boundaries issue. Your shadow doesn't know any bounds. That's the thing. I think your shadow is fully integrated, okay? It's really just about knowing, or being able to guard yourself, or guard it from other people exploiting it, okay? That's your shadow side, is helping people, or really, you know, feeling other people's struggles and letting yourself feel too much of other people and not enough of yourself, okay? So again, boundaries. What else? Okay, what is pile 3? What do they need to know? What is their shadow trying to tell them? What is pile 3's shadow trying to tell them? 9 of Pentacles. Pile 3. Okay. I want to take that one. Sorry, this is a bit messy. Okay. 5 of Cups. Okay, we have 2 5s. 5 of Cups, 9 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Whoa. And 10 of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this is your path towards wholeness. The 10 of Cups is one of the best cards. That's about feeling ultimate emotional contentment, peace, at ease. So we have 2 5s as well as 2 9s. 9s are about compassion, okay? 9 is also about development. It's the last number before 10, which is completion. So with 9, that represents the final stage of integration and like development. 9s are very advanced, if that's like your number, or so 9s have a mature energy, but we have 2 very different 9s. The 9 of Pentacles is also a card of abundance, fulfillment, right? versus the Nine of Swords, which is almost like a night terror card. This is stressful, almost like people laying all these swords on you. So this is also a card of facing your fears too. Face your fears was one of the cards that came out for what this is trying to tell you, what you need to know. Are you guys afraid of saying no? Is that what this is? Or is it you're afraid of disappointing other people? Is what you think of yourself dependent on how other people think of you? Like, these are important questions, okay? I think that is the first step, is always asking yourself first, why am I the way I am? Like, why do I do this? Am I dependent on this? Again, going back to the Five of Pentacles. And then the Five of Cups, this is like leaving behind this pattern, okay, of letting other people take from you. And I know this seems like a big, broad, scary issue. The thing is, we all sort of do this on a certain level, but for you guys, this is more pronounced, I think, because you guys feel so deeply, you care so deeply about other people. And sometimes that is indistinguishable from yourself, from like the emotions that you feel towards yourself. Yeah, this is, oh my gosh, this is like an emotional soup, pile 3. This is confusing. This is confusing me. But I think the first step is really just being like, taking the plunge full in here, and just, because I keep hearing again, there's only one way to address this. There's only one solution, which is to get boundaries, or to learn how to better guard yourself against energy vampires, or from, you know, letting this get out of control, because this can easily spiral into this Nine of Swords, but we don't want that. We want the Nine of Pentacles, which is much more grounded, in control. We have the wolf here depicted in this card, which is a creature that is very stable, follows their gut. So it's connected. You can still be tuned in to your intuition, to this scrying card, while simultaneously having boundaries, or certain protections in place, certain defense mechanisms, so that other energies don't filter in, okay? And ultimately, like this Knight of Pentacles, this is very slow, okay? So this is a slow process for you guys to really guard this shadow and to reinforce it, you know, like a force field. But this is so rewarding, because ultimately this Ten of Cups will let you feel whole without needing to depend on how other people, you know, feel, okay? Or your moods being dependent on the moods of people around you, or energies that you're surrounded with. You can have this beautiful bubble surrounding your auric field, and yeah, just knowing and being able to have that inner strength, okay? So let's pull you guys a few more cards. What advice do we have for pile 3? What advice could they use? What advice could pile 3 use? Observation aura. Yeah, that is such a big message for you guys, is to protect your auric field, okay? And not and that's the thing, you know, that empathic people usually struggle with, is, or soaking up more than they would like of external energies. And again, it's because you guys feel so much around you. You are very observant, and sometimes it's hard to know, like, is this an observation or is this an energy? Like, what is this that I'm receiving? I'm receiving something. Yeah, it's fine for if it's confusing to you. That is totally fine. I think what this reading is really trying to speak to, though, is drawing boundaries around your aura and better protecting yourself, okay? You can still let things in, but just make sure that what you do let in doesn't actually affect you, that it's something that you can, you know, take or leave it, okay? So yeah, let's see what else we can get. Pile 3. Footprints, direction. So again, feeling grounded. This card also deals with like guidance, receiving that guidance too. Also maybe surrounding yourself with people who have more, you know, defensive lines drawn in the sand, or people who can help you with this. Like we all know you know, that certain person who has no trouble expressing their boundaries or saying when you've drawn the line or crossed the line. Okay, so that is a really good thing to be able to do. Like if you know someone like that, definitely spend more time around that energy, or, you know, see what makes you comfortable. Again, just explore that. Don't be afraid of expressing boundaries, okay? Or like voicing how you feel, you know, when this is happening, okay? And I know that this is really like, it's easier to say than to do. But we all have to start somewhere. So something that is going to help you guys is, again, developing a force field around your aura. Work with certain crystals too, like black tourmaline, obsidian would be really helpful for you guys, or tiger's eye. That helps. Also, surrounding yourselves with people who make you feel safe, make you feel grounded and, you know, secure in who you are, because that's really what you guys need, is feeling just safe in your own energy and being able to, you know, choose, getting to the point where you can control what other energies you want to feel or that you want to let in, and what other energies you want to discard, okay? So let's roll the Astro dice just to see what last minute messages want to come through. Pile 3. Okay, so we have Virgo, Uranus, and 5th house. Okay, so Virgo, you might be a Virgo. Virgo has trouble saying no. This energy, okay, is very much tuned into just messages, downloads, Mercury. It's ruled by Mercury, so there's a lot happening with Virgo. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that I've been feeling in this reading, is like, it's just a lot. Like, there's a lot of different information that you guys have. You're very observant, right? And we also have Uranus too, which is very erratic. It can be a productive energy though, when you can channel it correctly, but most of the time it feels chaotic. The thing is, Uranus also can be things that make you feel like uncomfortable, that get you out of your comfort zone. And again, I think this pile, there's some fears surrounding being more assertive or drawing boundaries in the sand, or like saying no to people, whatever it is, right? That makes you feel uncomfortable, or that makes you feel nervous, to be honest, because this might not be something that like is a fear of yours outright, but it's definitely something that makes you uncomfortable or stressed out. Okay, so why is that? Having this conversation with yourself is the most productive course of action at this time, right? And then from there, you can go on to being practical and like, what little steps can I take at this time? What, you know, footprints, or like what little steps can I do to lead me in this direction towards being self-assured and feeling secure, okay? And then lastly, the 5th house is all about games, fun. Also, we did get the Simple Pleasures card earlier. And this is sort of similar. It says, look for beauty that is all around you. So yeah, this is also about just learning how to be in the now and lightening things up, okay? So how can you lighten up your day, find ways of, you know, like absorbing all this information, channeling, while also being able to maintain your moods and, you know, like good feelings, good simple pleasures, and experience those as well. All right. So I will leave this pile here for now. I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a super amazing day. Stay awesome, and I will see you guys later. Hey, pile 4, welcome to your reading for all of you who chose this Angelite crystal. Let's see. Okay, let's first see what your shadow side is. Okay, we have invisibility, authenticity, and skull of light, illumination. Okay, illuminating the shadow. Your shadow is invisible. Or maybe it could be that you yourself find it hard to be seen or like be visible. Invisibility could have more of a literal meaning, but it could also be more spiritually as well, as in your shadow, you keep it invisible and hidden from others or from yourself too. Like sometimes we do that unconsciously, or sorry, subconsciously. We're just not aware of certain habits or, you know, patterns that we're involved in. Okay, now what is your shadow trying to tell you? Life's purpose, seek your own deeper vision for life, and accepting challenges, trust your inner resources. I feel like you guys, when life gets challenging, you often have that inclination to hide or to run away, right? Instead of facing it or, you know, making the problem, bringing light to it, and thereby making it real. Maybe that has been your approach. You're like, if I keep this hidden, or if this is like an invisible issue, then it doesn't really exist, or it's not really a thing. It's just, yeah, it's not like, it doesn't count if it's not something that can be seen by others, right? This problem doesn't exist. Maybe you guys just hide your problems a lot from other people too. I could definitely see that, where you don't want to bother others, or, oh, it's not their problem, it's my problem. We have life's purpose as well. So as for, you know, these cards that represent what your shadow is trying to tell you, your life's purpose is tied in here in the sense of influencing your goals, your aspirations, where you see yourself. How do you see yourself as well? Yeah, I just feel like this is the situation where your shadow, you definitely are people who keep it hidden, right? You could also label your shadow too, because oftentimes this cloak stands in for the shadow, in the sense of, you know, like it looks like a figure, it looks like a person, but there's not actually anything there, just darkness. It's hollow, right? So maybe for you guys, something stands in for your shadow. So something that bothers you, something that you suppress, that really is your shadow, but like it's a stand-in for that kind of energy, okay? Especially if this deals with other people, like certain behaviors that you see in others that you find issue with. And I'm not saying that that is exactly like those are characteristics that you have as well. But I'm saying, like, why does it bother you? Why is it that your shadow is invisible? Like, why do you keep it invisible? Let's roll the Astro dice. What is pile 4's shadow? Okay, so we have Taurus, first house, and Mars. Okay. So the first house, this is the house of the physical self, the appearance. I strongly feel like for most of you guys, physically, it makes you uncomfortable being in public, or like public speaking, putting yourself out there physically in front of a crowd or for a lot of people to see. Invisibility, like maybe like you have physical insecurities, or like this shadow, as I said, takes a more literal physical form, and that is the fear of having it be illuminated, or having other people see what's actually in this cloak, you know, unveiling what lies beneath. Who is this person? And maybe that's the thing, you guys might have trouble showing your real selves to people, because, and it's not like you don't trust other people, or it's not about that, it's about you, your life purpose as well, like what you value and what you stand for. You know, who are you, pile 4? Maybe you guys don't even know on a deep level who you are or what you're trying to do. Taurus is about values. Taurus also deals with physical things too. It's a very physical, earthy sign. I just heard also maybe some of you guys have trouble being physical, like with other people, maybe intimately, or like in general. That's pretty specific, but yeah, there's something going on, I think, with you guys not wanting to be seen for who you are, or not wanting physically to really be in the spotlight, you know? And then Mars is a planet also of physical, like, intimacy. Sorry, Mars rules like our sex drive, but passion, our drive in general for life. Which makes sense, seeing that we have life's purpose. I think Mars also, like with accepting challenges too, this could also be that you guys, oh my god, I just smelled Christmas, like a Christmas tree. Oh my god, that brought back a lot of nostalgia. I think a lot of you guys might still be very deeply attached to your inner child. And I don't mean that like, that is such a good, pure thing, you know? And maybe that's what this is, you know, like you guys not wanting people, being very protective of that, you know, of a certain side of yourself, an inner child, a nostalgic memory, like something along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna pull some tarot in a second to clarify this, but I would say so far there's like a theme of either you guys not wanting to face your problems, like running away from them, making them invisible, you not wanting to be seen for who you are, or like it doesn't have to be that, but you know, something taking this invisibility cloak, okay? Something being hidden purposely, and your shadow not wanting to confront it, okay? So let's see what we get. Pile 4. What is pile 4's shadow side? What is it that they struggle with or suppress? Okay, we have the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Cups. Okay. Yeah, this is, we also have Strength. the Six of Pentacles. Wow. And then the Five of Cups. Eight of Wands. Okay, so let's keep what we have. So I think, yeah, it's like a fear of putting yourself out there, almost as if to fail. Like this, you know, especially if you guys take that in a career sense, right? Like you could be afraid of failure, of people judging you or seeing you in a certain way. Both of these cards, what they have in common is that emotional connection or bond that you have with other people. The Two of Cups especially is more intimate, as you can see with the heart right there, whereas the Three of Cups more so deals with friendships, even work relationships. You guys might have trouble getting close to people. It could be hard, like, to see what other people's intentions are, or to also, you know, kind of worry about what they might think of you, how they will interpret you. Because that could be the other thing. Maybe people just misinterpret you a lot, or have done so in the past, and that is why there is this sort of fear of being seen or of connecting with people physically, intimately even. Yeah, maybe you guys have been single for a while too. The thing is though, I think it's like both a physical sort of distance that you put between people as well as emotional too. But it's not even like you guys are socially awkward or anything, or you don't want connection. I think it's just knowing, you know, feeling like other people get you. You guys want to be seen for who you are. You want to be understood, you know? And I understand that. We all can relate on a certain level, right? But I think with you guys, truly, like, that's where you shine, is really, like, you can't be anyone other than who you are. And this life's purpose, like, only you can be yourself and live this, right? You guys are very unique and special, and you shouldn't feel like you have to hide yourselves or hide your gifts, okay? Because that's what makes you you. The Strength card, this is a Leo. This is like the sun. We also have the Lion here as well, right? And people are always going to misjudge us. There is no one way or correct way of ever presenting ourselves, you know? Like, people are always gonna see things differently, right? And ultimately it's not up to us. Like, we can't control that. We can just control what we do, how we act, right? And choose to be ourselves regardless of other people, okay? And with this pile too, I feel such a sweet, childlike energy that's so pure and innocent as well. That's what you guys are guarding and protecting, right? Because it's so sacred and pure that you don't want other people to see it. Like, you don't want them to ruin it, right? But I think the larger issue here isn't like whether people are going to ever like truly understand you, as opposed to you treating this in this way, right? Like, making something invisible or running away from it becomes the way that you deal with challenges in other areas of life, and it sort of has a trickling effect, right? So part of this is, you know, by being strong in who you are and maintaining your strength in yourself, that is truly like the best thing you can do. That is going to help you with challenges in your life, and with, it's sort of like this Mars energy of breaking through barriers, and also the first house too, because that's the house of self, and you know, truly feeling comfortable with who you are, but not only like firm in that, but also roaring like your own voice and making yourself be heard and seen, okay? And it doesn't have to, like, you don't, that doesn't have to be for attention or for what other people think. Just think about it as you just being you, okay? It doesn't have to be like pretentious or any kind of criticism. And it's the same way with Leo energy too. Like people can say whatever they want about Leos, right? Being attention seekers or being, I don't know, like vain or anything that you can think of. But at the end of the day, do they care about that? Like, do you do you see a Leo being really caught up in like how other people view them, or are they just only concerned about themselves? Okay, that's the approach you guys need to take seriously, is like this Mars energy as well, being unapologetic. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you guys have some Leo, maybe some Taurus too. I'm really feeling that kind of, just that need to really assert yourself, but also, being worried about, and it's not like what other people think of you, but wanting to be you, wanting to feel connected to who you are without having to necessarily share yourself with others, or having it just to yourself, for who you are in private, or like under this cloak, right? I don't know. I think this pile, your shadow, is about expressing yourself and living your life, living in your energy, being your most embodied, full personality too, There's like a fear surrounding that, or yeah, like speaking up. I feel that feeling that we all feel, like when we have to give a presentation, or we know it's our time, to speak and to stand up, but it just feels very like we don't want to, like there's that kind of trepidation. So let's get some more cards and see what kind of advice or what can be helpful for you guys to hear. What kind of advice can we get for pile 4? How can they best integrate this? Oh my gosh, you guys, we have illumination again. Skull of light, illumination, and candle. Candle as well. Like, this is fire energy. I feel like that's really... See if you have any planets in fire signs. Like, that... Really paying attention to those energies, working with them, is going to do wonders for you, because that energy, fire is about light, quite literally. Fire illuminates. It can be destructive, right? But also it brings life, energy, and color back, right? That's the thing. It's almost like, how the Wizard of Oz, half of it's in black and white, but when she walks into out of the house and everything turns into color. I'm almost seeing something like that. Like, once you guys really, really integrate this, that life will seem like it's in color again. Okay, let's see what else we can get. Pendulum, decision. Pile 4. But the decision is about walking, like choosing to actually walk out that door and see what is outside there, okay? Which takes courage, it takes bravery. But again, that's what the Strength card is about. That's what it stands for, is not being afraid, not worrying, ultimately. Like, you got this. We also have wishbone, affirmation. I just feel like this could be life-changing for you guys. Ultimately, this could by integrating this shadow, which is about feeling safe to be yourself and to express it, to roar, right? This could change your life, pile 4, seriously. This could make the difference between which path you take in your life's purpose. But ultimately it is up to you to take that step. Yeah, I just keep seeing like to open that door. You guys are very powerful, special human beings. Your inner child deserves to feel safe and, shouldn't have to hide, shouldn't have to be left to this dark, like, cloak, to and be made invisible. Like, no, this is you, pile 4. Like, this is you. No one can say otherwise. No one can be like, this doesn't matter, or I don't know, like, words are blanking on me right now, but I can feel how, like, the gravity of this situation, how it affects you so, and how this can change your life, okay? Let's roll the astro die one more time. What last minute information can we get on pile 4? Okay, so we have the first house again. We have Capricorn and Neptune. Woo, okay, so Neptune is the planet of spirituality, healing, dreams. I also feel again like this is so deep for you guys, like you feel this so deeply. And Neptune, often there's that tendency, similarly to Pisces, to want to hide or to, cloak or veil something. Neptune can also, just like the 12th house, represent things that are unconscious, that are hidden from ourselves, or that we even try to shield from others because, I don't know, maybe we think it'll make them uncomfortable or we'll feel misunderstood, right? Neptune, in that way, it acts as a nebula, right? So it starts with bringing light to it, illuminating through it. What is actually in that cloak? Like, is it something that you're afraid to show? Or is it just something that is convenient to hide? Like, why is this hard? Okay. Oh my God, I want to cry. Like, you guys, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me sad because I feel as though, especially if you guys have been distancing yourself off from other people or making connections because you're afraid of them seeing who you are or being judged. People would love to get to know you. People would love to see who you are. And so the fact that, if you have ever felt this way, or if these feelings have become very strong and have closed you off or limited areas of your life because of that, you guys are lovable, and also you deserve. So yeah, I will leave this pile here for now. I hope you guys liked it. If you found it helpful, feel free to give this video a thumbs up, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, have a super amazing day. Stay awesome. And I will see you guys later.